Nigeria versus Ivory Coast in the Africa Cup of Nations final. The hosts have made it to the final as well as the Super Eagles. The Super Eagles versus the Elephants at the ground of the Elephants. I am joined by a Nigerian fan and an Ivory Coast fan in the name of Abdul Salam of Nigeria and Joshua Sabahi of Ivory Coast. If you guys would like to introduce yourselves.
Slam, do you want to go first?
Let's go, Nigeria. Of course, it's a pleasure to be on here. Thank you for inviting me, Najib. And yeah, let's get this, man. AFCON coming back to Abuja. Come on, the boys.
Obviously, I'm supporting Cote d'Ivoire, host nation. We're bringing it home to this week, man. Bringing it home. And I say, man.
Yeah, just as in like before we actually start the sections, obviously, Joshua, I'm going to be asking you about Cote d'Ivoire. Obviously, you guys thought you were out after you finished third place in the group stages after that 4-0 loss to Equatorial Guinea. But luckily, you guys were like the better third place team, basically. So you guys still had that lifeline, and now you're all the way into the final. So how does that feel in it? Because it's almost like a roller coaster of emotions.
To be honest, it feels kind of lucky. I feel like in the group
Mm,
stages, we performed so horrible, you know.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll say by luck, literally, because I forgot what game it was. I think it was Morocco versus something. I forgot, but they literally that game they won, literally saved us, and now we're in the final. So you just gotta make do with what you got. To be honest, yeah,
Yeah, literally. So in this video, it's going to be broken down into three sections. The first section, I've asked these guys to create a combined 11. So we're going to be going through that and we're going to
yeah,
literally be debating about the starting 11, basically. The next section, we're going to be talking about the team's campaign and obviously the highs and lows of the campaign. And in the last section, we're actually going to be talking about the game itself and how they think the game will go, play off the matches and just the awards like that. And then after, we'll end it off. So enough being said, let's get into the first section, and that is the combined 11. Let's get into it. Starting off with the combined 11. First of all, we need to discuss formation. So, obviously, what formation do you guys want to do in it?
all
I know
right.
we've been
Because
playing
I
a
know
back
like
five.
Nigeria have been playing that three back, but
Yeah.
obviously, Cote
Play.
d'Ivoire
We
they
could play
played I
a
think
four
like the
three
first few
three.
games three back, but after they switched to four.
Yeah, we should play a four
I've
three
done my
three.
combined 11 in the back four. So 4-3-3. So
All right, cool.
Four
So
three
we'll
three.
do a 4-3-3. So obviously, we always have to start with the keeper. What are you guys saying for keeper? For me,
do,
there's
do
only
I
one real
do I even
answer,
need
but
to
I'll
do I
let you
even need to
guys
speak?
bring it up.
Do I even need to?
Um, like I'm not gonna lie. Ivory Coast goalkeeper compared to Nigeria's goalkeeper, it's not even a competition. Let's not lie.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's not lie. Yeah,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
words
So
needed there.
yeah, but my boy Wabali, he's been a revelation. I can't lie, this tournament. Obviously we've had like previous tournaments where we've got out because of keeper mistakes. You know, obviously you look at the last AFCON, we got to Tunisia because of a stupid long range goal, and then obviously
Yeah.
the big match for the World Cup against Ghana, keeper again messed us up. So it's nice to have a goalkeeper that you can actually rely on in it. So yeah, Wabali 100% takes that net position for me.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm guessing we're all in agreement. So that'll be the first player, the keeper, Mr. Stanley, Mr. Man that saved Nigeria in the penalty shootout. He's been solid this whole campaign. So on the screen, you guys will see the keeper. Obviously, moving on to the right back. So what we're saying, like, is really Aina versus Serge Aurier, to be honest.
Here, I can't lie, I know. Like, it was so close for me to pick Aurier because of that penalty. It pissed me off,
Yeah,
but I can't be too narrow-minded. He's been solid this whole competition, so I think Aina has to be right back for me. Unless
Yeah.
you want to debate Aurier, like Aina has to be.
Look, you know what? Yeah. Aurier's not even been the best right back for Ivory Coast. I've got like two others that are better than Aurier, but
who's
yeah, I still
single.
have to say there's Singo and there
Yeah.
was Kusnu. Kusnu before the Mali game, before he got the red card in it, he was playing good, but that Mali game put his stocks down for me. But
Yeah.
yeah, I still have to say Aina. Aina's been I think he's been the best left back in the tournament. If you get what I'm saying. Yeah.
Mm.
So I have to agree.
Yeah.
Playing
I
right
mean, to be
left,
honest,
been very good.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Aina has been, as in like one of the most consistent performers for Nigeria throughout this campaign. And that penalty miss, it was a bit like I don't know, it was a
Yeah,
bit sad
Yeah.
because like literally it was playing so well that whole tournament that after he literally skied it over the bar. So it's good
literally his
that like
only
they still
blunder.
went through
Yeah,
and they didn't go out because of him. Yeah. So obviously we have two Nigerians onto the centre backs. We're gonna start with right centre back. Who are you guys saying?
Captain Troost has to be in there. Captain Troost. There's no
Yeah, I
debate
mean,
here.
yeah.
There's no debate here. There's
that's a
no
no
debate.
Joshua, you
debate.
have
That's
anything
a
to
no
say?
debate. I got a boy
I've
called
got
Bully
both centre.
Bowley.
I've got both centre
I got
backs.
a boy called Bully Bowley that could, make a
Yeah, I
conversation
hear
for that.
it. I
But
mean,
you know what? You know what? I'll give it to you. Your boy Trace, he's been playing good. He's been
The
playing good.
thing
He's a
is,
great
when you
leader.
look at Nigeria over the AFCON, like the strongest part of our team has been the defense.
Yeah,
We
for
always talk
sure.
mm,
about Nigeria having an abundance of attackers. Osaman, Lookman, Simon, Chukwueze, but this tournament has been our defense really that's turned up, and they've put in obviously the numbers, defending us, barely conceding any goals. So defense is on top. I can't lie.
yes, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, to
they've
us,
had
I
a
have to
solid defense
agree.
still.
Just
Yeah.
get sent.
Yeah, I mean, Nigeria's defense have been strong. So I think Truth Ekong has to be in skipper. He scored penalties. He's been leading that back line
Yeah.
ever since the first game. Now he's left centre back. Now is whether we go for another Nigerian or we mix it up and we go for an Ivorian. So for
I
me,
can't
I'm
lie.
gonna put my input. I feel like it's Bassi has to go in, but that's just my personal opinion, innit?
Bassi.
I don't know what you
You
Has
know
guys are
to
saying.
what?
I don't know what you
has to
guys are
go
saying.
in. Has to go in.
You know what? As much as I want to say Ndika, you're not wrong about Bassi. You know,
Mm,
basically, you watch him in Premier League and he looks like he has that bozo gene, but in AFCON, he's been playing very good. I can't lie. He's been
yeah,
like
yeah,
solid.
yeah.
He's been solid. He's been solid. I can't lie. But
Yeah,
give him
so
that
I'm
spot.
guessing we're all in agreement, man. So far, it's a clean
Yeah.
sweep, and to be honest, I didn't predict this back four and keeper was going to be a clean sweep, especially because how good
Yeah.
Nigeria have been.
Yeah.
Onto the left back, and for me, Sanusi hasn't been that good for Nigeria, so there is a chance for an Ivorian to get in my opinion.
Yes.
So what are you guys
Definitely.
saying?
Definitely.
Mhm.
I'm
Or
saying. I'm
or
saying
I could get
Conan.
Ajayi in and switch Bassi to left back.
Oh, God, Joshua, talk back, talk back. What are you saying?
This guy said, no, no, no. Keep Bassi in the centre back position. Keep him there. But I've
Yeah.
got Conan. Conan is starting out left back. I don't think anyone in Nigerian squad can play over Conan. He's been phenomenal from the start.
Mm.
Like hasn't made any blunders. If you watch all of Ivorian's game, he has not made any mistakes, nothing. I think he's like he's been one of our best performers for sure. Yeah, I'm taking him
Yeah.
So always say we're gonna go for Conan at left back.
for
I
sure.
Yeah,
mean,
I
I
think
Yeah,
still
yeah,
want
like
Ajayi in, but first I'll
yeah.
give
To
it.
be honest,
I'll
Ajayi,
give
like
it.
yeah, as in that back three for Nigeria has been very strong, so it's quite harsh to leave Ajayi out. But I feel like in this back four formation, it's better to have like a natural left back rather than pushing Bassi out wide. So obviously, like here you will see the defense is three for Nigeria and it's one for Cote d'Ivoire in
it's
the
calm.
defense,
It's
meaning it's
calm. It's
4-1
calm.
overall. But anyways, enough about the defense. We're going to move on to the next section, and that is the midfield. And this is where it
Yes.
starts to get a bit more spicier. So starting off, are we playing a flat three or are we playing a DM and two CMs or two sixes and a 10? I don't know what you guys want to do, but who's like the first player that you guys want to put in no matter what?
So I can't lie.
You go first. You go first.
Seko,
You go first. You go first.
okay. I'll be honest. Seko Fofana and Kessie, they both have
Yeah.
to. They both have to get. I think they've probably been Ivory Coast's best players to be honest this whole tournament. They've been very good running that midfield since the first game. You can rely on them, especially for Fana. He's been very, very, very good, man. Honestly, so them two have to get in. I've gone with two eights and I've gone with 1 6, and the six that I want to go for, I'll leave it out for now, but I want to hear what Sabahi has to say first. So yeah, go on, bro.
Yeah. He's not wrong about two of them. Yeah. Soko Fofana, the energy this guy brings every game, bro. Like, if it wasn't for him, like, I feel like some of the games that we've had, we still wouldn't be in this tournament. Like, you see the energy that Ozyman brings. to the Nigerian
Mm.
squad. He brings that for our squad. Like the crowd cheers on every time he plays. Like, yeah, he's an engine. And Kestia, he he's a complicated situation because he plays good in it, but from the he's like how do I describe it? He fluctuates in it. Like
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
beginning
yeah.
of
He
the
has his
game,
highs and lows.
he yeah. And to be honest, he's been asked to play a position where he's not really stronger. He plays the playmaking position, and we don't really have any playmakers in our team. He normally plays in like club football. He plays more of like a defensive position, if you get what I'm saying. He's not asked to be a playmaker and all that. But yeah, he's been a great leader for our team as well. So yeah, I don't think there's anyone else that can play apart from one player. I'll bring one player from Nigeria squad
One.
into the combined midfield, and that is Iwobi. Like Iwobi, this AFCON, I've been watching Nigeria, and I have to say, he surprised me
Mm.
the most out of everyone. Like his playmaking, his vision, everything, his passing, he has to be in that combined 11 midfield, without a doubt.
Mm. To be fair, I went with someone different, but I heard it would be shouts as well. I went with Frank Onyeka from Brentford. He's been solid, man. That guy runs.
That's fair.
He's
That's fair.
everywhere.
That's fair.
And I feel like in a team where you've got legs, just adding another pair of legs that can just clean up, literally clear the ball, get the ball from A to B. Onyeka does the job for you. And I feel like since obviously the first game, since losing Al Hassan Yusuf, he's been consistent. He's been very good. He's been probably our best midfielder. Obviously Iwobi's up there too. You've got the likes of Aribo, who hasn't really got that much game time, but Onyeka has to be in this team. Yeah.
Fair.
So basically, we got Kessie and Fofana in. Yeah, is that what we're saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Then after the
Yeah.
last jigsaw is between Iwobi and Onyeka. I feel like, I mean, for me personally, if you're looking at like the makeup of that midfield already, you need someone a bit more attacking in it. So if we're gonna be going off based off that midfield, I'll put Iwobi. But obviously, as
Yeah.
Salam said, Frank Onyeka has been very good, especially with Ndidi being out as well. Like normally he's a very big player for Nigeria, and he stepped up in his boots basically. So for me personally, obviously you guys can vote. I will go for Kessie and for Fana at like the base, and after in front of them, Alex Iwobi. I don't know what you guys are
Yeah, I
saying.
had that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
All
agree with
right.
that.
To be honest, they've both been good, so I'll take Iwobi as
Yeah.
well.
All right, cool. So that's midfield. You'll see the midfield on the screen. Like for the first time, we have more players from Cote d'Ivoire than Nigeria. So in the midfield, it is two
Let's
and
go.
one. But anyways, this is the most juiciest part for every combined 11, and it's the front three. So they're going to be starting off with the right wing position. What are you guys saying for the right wing position? Go on, Sabah, you go
Ademola
first.
Lookman. There's only one name.
Look, man. Okay.
Ademola Look. Player
I
of the tournament.
mean, our right wing position in Ivory Coast has not been the best. Like we have Max Gradel, he's what,
Yeah.
36. I mean, he's out of his prime. He's not bad, but he's just not that good. We have Nicolas Pepe, another one that fluctuates. He can bring good moments here and there, but yeah, I have to go with Lookman. He's been very positive the whole tournament. He's always creating chances for Nigeria as well. Like every time he has the ball, he's always trying to do something. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely Lookman. Definitely.
Yeah, to be honest, I
Yeah.
agree. Like I was saying it early on in like as like my match reports, to be honest, I think one of the playoff tournaments has to be Lookman and he has to be in contention. He's obviously switched between left and right between some games, but I feel like no matter where he's playing, he's always creating, and he's always getting them chances. And he's that winger that Nigeria have needed, and I'm quite happy that he actually changes like as in like his allegiances to Nigeria, because I'm pretty sure it was only recent that he changed it. So Lookman for me has to go in at right wing. Next, we're going to be on to the other side of the wing, and that is the left wing. So what are we saying for that position at left wing?
I'll let you go first,
I'm
Mr.
sorry. I'm sorry, but this has to be an Ivorian. This is Andriga's position right here because this guy, yeah, he didn't come into the squad till like I think the quarterfinals or round of 16 because he was
Mm.
injured. Apparently, he was injured. If this guy, yeah, was in squad in the group stages, I guarantee you would have topped the group. Because every time this guy's on the pitch, he's trying to make something happen. Like he's just causing chaos for the fullback that he's facing against, always trying to get a 1v1. And I can't wait for the match on Sunday because I want to see that matchup against him and Einab. That's going to be a great matchup. I'm sorry. But
100%.
yeah, he has to take that position. Andriga has been phenomenal. Like, yeah, definitely him.
Salam.
Obviously, the debate with me is Moses Simon, who didn't start off the tournament as well, but his energy, his pace, his beating players 1v1. If you want to talk about 1v1 maestro, I think you've got your guy in Simon. This guy takes on his defenders. The one thing I will say about him this tournament is that obviously the numbers speak, and he hasn't obviously had the numbers, but he's been immense for this team. And he's been very vital. Obviously, when you look at the Cameroon game, he creates the only chance for our first goal. In the first half where we didn't obviously look the best, but obviously Lookman gets the goal. But that's all down to Moses Simon, obviously beating his defender and creating that obviously opportunity for Lookman to take. So yeah, between them two, I don't know.
I think for me personally, where I'll chip in is obviously like this whole tournament, I've actually been following Nigeria in it, so I've watched a lot more of Simon than I have of Adingra. But I think what Sabaya said was right in terms of like the end product, in terms of what Ivory Coast were missing, especially in that final third he brought, especially in their last game. Like literally, you saw him come on, and so when he came on, he literally changed the game in like the last 30, 40 minutes. I think he came on and he literally changed the game. And to be honest with Simon, I feel like Simon has been good, but as Salam said, his end product, his numbers had to be better because in the games that I was watching, he did have a few chances, but he was lacking that final pass or that finishing was not there. And whereas with Adingra, we saw that obviously he played less matches, but we saw that in the final third, he did have that spark that Cote d'Ivoire were missing, especially in the early stages where they almost got knocked out. So for me, it will actually be Adingra, Subahi, Salam. I don't know if you guys agree on that, but yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. 100% agree.
I
Okay.
just that striker position is mine, so I'll give him a Jenga.
Anyway, as you said yourself, onto the striker position, Sebastian Haller versus Victor Osimhen. For me, there's only one winner, but you guys take the stage, you guys take the spotlight. Go ahead and speak
Let
your
me
truth.
say something. I
Yeah,
think the answer is obvious in it, but I would like to give a shout out to Haller because
yeah,
I think he's been a huge upgrade from Crasso because his hold up play, he just makes it easier for the to keep the tempo of play, if you get what I'm saying. Like, let's say a
Yeah.
centre back behind him, right? He just did a little flick onto the winger will sprint down the line, cross it in. And he had like so many chances last game, probably could have got like 5 goals. But it is what it is. But yeah, I try to give a shout out to him. But the answer's obvious, in it. Like we can't argue this. It's Osimhen, yeah.
has to
You
be, man.
can't,
He's
man.
just
You can't.
They call him the African Player of the Year for a reason, man. That guy has been a revelation this tournament, man. Like he already had the price tag coming into this tournament. He's already proved himself. But just this tournament, you look at a striker's performance and you take away goals. He hasn't got the most goals. He's only got one goal this tournament. But the drive, the passion, he puts his heart on the line for Nigeria, man. Every time he wears that kit, running up and down, menace the defenders. He's just bro, I don't know, man. He's just been our best player, and he has to be up top. Has to be.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I agree. I remember I was seeing, I think it was a post on Twitter that I saw, and yes, his numbers don't always like obviously show up in like the terms of like goals and assists, but like he's literally won 2 penalties that Truce Ekong has taken. His running that he does for the team, especially like his runs in the channels, is so valuable, especially because like Nigeria have been playing a lot more deeper this tournament than they normally do. So whenever like the fullbacks get the ball, like they're always looking for that run by Osimhen. And after Osimhen, I don't know, man, he's a very selfless player. He's always running for the team. He's always trying to get his teammates involved. And after that second goal, when he got ruled out by VAR, it actually was a bit painful because he really did deserve that goal basically because all that hard work and then a tapping would have been beautiful, but obviously it didn't happen. In the final, we'll see if he can cash in on his XG as people say. But yeah, to be honest, Victor Osimhen is the only answer. And if I'm going by my calculations, that is the starting 11 done. And we have 7 Nigerian players and 4 Cote d'Ivoire players. So Sabahi, obviously, less players means, oh, like, obviously, you might not be happy about that. But what are you saying?
I mean, football's a team game, innit? So, they got quality, but we'll see. I feel like we have a chance. Luck is on our side. Luck is definitely on our side. But yeah, I just feel like the one thing that scares me for Sunday is Ozyman. He is just he's just scary. Like you see the way he presses on your centre backs. I don't think anyone would like to look around here and see that big guy chasing you. Like it's just yeah, scary.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So that is the first section completed, the combined 11. On the screen, you'll see the combined 11 here. Obviously, thanks to Sabahi and Salam for helping me choose a combined 11. But we're going to move on to the next section now. And that is talking about like the team's campaign and how it's gone so far. So we'll see you in the next section. On to the second section we go, and we're going to be talking about the team's campaign. So we're going to start off with the host, to be honest, also known as the Elephants. We're going to be talking about Cote d'Ivoire. Sabahi, this is your expertise, this is your field, this is your country. So talk to me
Yeah.
about your country, obviously from the group stages where you almost thought you were out, when after you got to the last 16 and you actually faced as like a hard team in Senegal, but obviously you guys beat them, now all the way to the final. So literally, what are you saying about like the run?
Well, yeah. It's been a very wild journey because we had the coach and we just did bad in the group stages. Like I think we won our first game, and then we lost to Nigeria, which was kind of unlucky, a penalty. But then the game against Equatorial Guinea, which is unacceptable, absolutely unacceptable. I don't think like anybody that supports their country would like accept that in a home, like you know what I'm saying. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
then we had a
yeah.
new manager, and then something just changed. I think in the team. I think it definitely has to do with the tactics or like the manager and the coaching. Definitely something changed there. But yeah, I feel like there's also different togetherness in the squad as well. Like before, we were kind of
Mm.
disjointed in the group stages. Like people, I feel like people weren't either taking it seriously or there just wasn't togetherness. But now everyone knows that the country's behind them and they really want to win this. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but this is definitely the final that I've been waiting for. Like it's the one of the finals that I wanted to avoid, but it's definitely the final I've been waiting for. A lot of matchups I want to see. A lot of people I'm actually kind of scared of as well. I don't really say it and stuff, but I'm actually very scared of this Nigerian team, especially their backline and their attack. They're very, very talented in that area. But yeah, man, I have faith in Ivory Coast. I have faith in them. My country.
Yeah, to be honest, like if you deep it, it's almost like the script is actually written for you guys to win. Obviously, in the group
Literally.
stages, you guys had Nigeria, you guys lost 1-0. Then after you guys almost got knocked out, you sacked your coach, you got an interim in. In the last 16, you faced one of the favourites in Senegal, obviously. And after in the previous game, in the semis, you guys were about to go out, but after you guys scored a late equalizer. And like literally it's almost been like a roller coaster for a ride. So if you're looking at in terms of like what people call scripting, is almost like it's scripted for Cote d'Ivoire to win. But this
Yeah.
is where Nigeria come in because Nigeria have been consistent throughout the whole tournament. Defensively, they've been top. I think they have about 4 clean sheets so far. And yeah, let's talk about Nigeria's journey now. Salam, this is obviously your forte. So talk to us about Nigeria.
So yeah, obviously coming into this AFCON, a lot of our fans I say were pessimistic, obviously going over the fact that we haven't really managed to find a stable kind of team. We played the World Cup qualifiers against, Lesotho, Zimbabwe, shocking results, drawing 1-1 against both teams. So obviously we came into this tournament not really thinking the best, just thinking at least make it out of the group stage and also be a threat in the knockout stages, isn't it? So that's kind of like the plan that we had coming into this tournament. Obviously, the first game, there was a lot of uproar, obviously, against Equatorial Guinea. We drew 1-1 in a game where we should have honestly battered them 4-5. You can't, the amount of chances, especially that Osimhen had, for example, it was just, obviously it wasn't our game. And I feel like that's where it switched for us, where, the coach Pesero decided to obviously switch things up. So obviously played with a back three. And I feel like that's where our journey actually started this AFCON. We go into the second game against the Ivorians. We knew obviously the attacking threat is going to be crazy. And we just went into that game, defending and, hitting on. Has kind of been our way to go this tournament. And obviously it worked against them. The same thing against Guinea-Bissau. Obviously you could argue that we could have scored more goals against them as well, obviously being a lower ranked side. But yeah, I feel like, obviously after the first game, we kind of cruised through the group stages, and we kind of, obviously, even though we didn't finish first, we kind of had a strong finish to, a group stage that we didn't start the best in it. So, group stages were good. And then you go over to the knockout rounds. Obviously we knock out with Cameroon, first of all. Obviously a really strong team, 5 AFCONs, in their history. So, obviously it's going to be a really tough game, especially our neighbors as well. And we just went into that game and I was so surprised, man. Like, the defense was solid. The attack was cooking. Lookman was doing well. Obviously Troost Ekong is all stepping up, the captain. It's just really good to see how the team gelled over like the tournament. And obviously the semi-final, we had, who did we have? Angola. Angola obviously were a team that we feared because of obviously their attack. The attack's been very, very good. And obviously, we defended first. We defended very well again in that game. And we managed to score again. People say own goals, penalties are the ways to win. But, like I said, and as Nigerians say, a goal is a goal. Penalty is a goal, own goal is a goal. So you've got to take it. And then obviously the semi-final against, a team where, they've been talking a lot, the South Africans, they've wanted to beat us for the longest. But like I said, man, it was a game where I can't lie, mixed emotions. It just shows the story of the AFCON, man. It's been crazy. Like, honestly, like the amount of decisions, you guys know as well. Like, it's been crazy. It's been probably one of the best tournaments ever. So obviously we thank the Ivory Coast for, hosting a very, very good tournament in it. But, obviously it goes down to penalties. I'm scared. I was literally saying we're out. But keeper steps up in it, and that's kind of been the story of our AFCON. Our keeper stepping up. We finally have a goalkeeper that we can actually trust. Obviously, there was a few scares here and there when obviously he went down against was it Angola. We thought he wasn't gonna make it, but obviously, it's been a very good tournament, and I can't wait for the final because the boys have played very well, and they do deserve to get something out of it. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the one thing that the Super Eagles do have going for them is that in these competitions, especially like especially like AFCON, Euros, World Cups, you need to have a compact, solid base. And Nigeria have obviously had that with the defense and keeper. And Nigeria will always have good attackers like Osimhen, Lookman, Chukwueze, Simon, Iheanacho. The list goes on. But like the biggest question for most teams coming into AFCON or just any competition in general is, can your defense hack it, basically? And we've seen that Nigeria's defense can hack it. So on paper, you would think that Nigeria are favourites to win and they should actually go on to win it if you look at like their route to the final. But obviously, anything can happen in a final, especially when the other team has such good quality in Cote d'Ivoire. So it's going to be a very intense final. So instead of talking about what happened in the past, let's try to talk about the future. And let's go on to the next section, which is the third and final section, which is how we think the game will go, who's going to get player of the match, who's going to get player of the tournaments, and at the end of the day, who's going to be crowned the AFCON champions. Let's get into it. On to the third and final section where we talk about the game. The game is on Sunday at 8 p.m. for anyone watching in the UK. And we're going to be talking about the host to start off with Ivory Coast, obviously the home nation. Joshua Sawahi, how do you think the game is going to go? And what do you think is going to happen?
Well, this game could go two ways, in my opinion. One way is that it could go to extra time. Maybe we get a goal there, maybe it goes to penalties. or
Mm.
the other way is that our players crumble because I know Nigeria are going to bring the energy. Even though we are at home, I mean, look what happened at the game of Equatorial Guinea. That was the group stages, you know. So look, you never know. So yeah, but yeah, and I feel like the reason why we'll lose is because of our goalkeeper. He's been very, very shaky. He's been the one guy in our team I say that is like I'm very scared of because he looks like he's about to make a mistake every time he has the ball. Every time. And I don't know if you saw the match against Congo, right? But Congo almost got a goal because he couldn't keep the ball in his hands. Literally. I mean, I was
Yeah.
scared for a moment, but yeah. And I feel like Osman is gonna take. That's why I'm very scared of Osman. I feel like he's gonna put pressure on our defense. Just keep pressing them every time. It's gonna like make it scary for us. But yeah. But however, I am very excited because our attack looks very, very like promising. Andriga, as I said before, he's gonna cause a lot of problems. And Aina has to deal with that. He has to deal with that. Because if he doesn't,
Mm.
it's gonna hurt him. It's gonna hurt Nigeria, I'm telling you. And yeah, who have Nigeria got in the defense? They got Bassi with that, but you know, and I said before, Haller, very good number 9, great hold up play. He's gonna be bringing those centre backs out of position, and yeah, I can't wait to see the match how it's gonna unfold and all that. But yeah, as I said before, I'm very scared of Nigeria because yeah, they're posing a threat to us.
All right, cool. All right, well, say for example, you're like the manager, yeah? This is a final.
Yeah.
How do you set up your team to combat obviously that attack you're talking about, but also at the same time make sure you guys can get chances, get goals? Do you start off quick? Do you start off on the back foot? Do you try use the home crowd to like obviously get like the atmosphere up? If you're the manager, what's your game plan going into the game?
I definitely say we start off quick. Definitely. I don't
Mm,
want us to be on the back foot because if we're on the
yeah,
back foot, then that's very bad. Like, for example, I like the way how we started that Congo game because Congo are very like direct, very
yeah.
direct. And the way we're playing it is like we're gonna come at them and they're gonna come at us, but we're not gonna back down. That's what I want. I don't want us to like play into the other team's hands and just like wait for our chances. No, we have to. If we don't, then we'll lose. Simple as that. I know Nigeria are gonna do everything they want to take them, but yeah, I have faith in my team.
All right, cool. Let's move on to the other team, which is Nigeria. Obviously, it's going to be like a similar question, but how do you think the game will go? What do you think you guys need to do to make sure to get the win? And like, obviously, what are you looking for in terms of not only your team, but also Cote d'Ivoire, obviously, a very strong team.
Yeah, so let's speak about Ivory Coast first. In this match, I'm expecting a lot of energy. As the host nation, they're gonna have the top man, which is the fans, cheering them on, obviously, as the host nation. So I'm gonna be expecting a lot of energy, especially the first 15, 20 minutes, trying to test the waters. Have players like Kessié, Fofana, Adengra, as you said, those kind of players just running at us, testing, obviously, our defense. But I feel like where this game is won is whether Nigeria's attackers decide to turn up or not. Because I know that our defense is pretty solid, and we've only conceded 2 goals in 90 minutes this entire tournament. So I feel like it's going to be really tough for the Ivorians to try get a goal. Not saying it's not possible, but our defense really keeps a lot out. So I feel like it's more on terms of our attackers and how clinical they will be in front of goals. Obviously, we've got Osimhen, who he needs a good game, and I feel like it might come in the final. This guy puts his heart out on the line every time he plays for Nigeria, so I feel like this could be his game. Obviously, you've got Ademola Lookman, and I'm probably predicting that Moses Simon will start on the left hand side. Obviously, interchanging with Lookman. So I feel like where this game is won and lost is obviously us finishing our chance, finishing our dinner, man. The amount of times in this tournament where we could have, won 2, 3, 4, but we just get let down by the quality of finishing. So I just feel like this game obviously will be a tough game. You know, potentially could go to extra time penalties because both teams do want it, man. You're at a final. You can't underestimate anyone in the final. Form goes out of the window no matter how good you've been in the tournament. The final is a one-off game, and whoever wins the final is the overall winner. So, obviously we've seen the upsets in the tournament. We've seen the better teams go out. You've seen Morocco go out, you've seen Senegal go out. They are the favourites, but it doesn't mean that just because you're the favourites mean you're entitled to, the final. So, it's going to be a really tough match. Ivory Coast are a very good team, Even though they had their shaky start, obviously, to the campaign, they have been, they've gotten better. You could say luck is on their side as well, but I feel like Nigeria can win this game, and I'm pretty confident for this game. Obviously, I don't want to say too much now, but, we'll see how the game goes.
Yeah, to be honest, I like the confidence from both sides, to be honest. But just like a similar question that I gave, obviously, to Subahi earlier on, if you're the manager and you're setting up your team and you're setting up the game plan, how would you start and how would you want your team to play?
So obviously, I would rather keep it quite consistent as how we've been playing the whole tournament. Keep that defense very, very compact, very congested. Obviously, Haller's going to be the danger man. Through his aerial threat, for his hold-up ability. So I feel like we should deal with him early. Obviously stop the passes into him. The crosses, we defend very well aerially, so we just need to continue doing that. And I feel like as if I was Placero, the same thing that he's been doing. Obviously, get the attackers to have their head screwed on during the game. Obviously, running for each other. You've got Osimhen that's 100% going to do that every game he plays. But obviously, you've got to get players like Simon and Lookman finishing their chances, playing that final pass whenever it's needed. Obviously, you've got players like Iwobi as well, who has to be switched on this game. For me, he can be better. We haven't seen the best of him this tournament, and I feel like this final, everyone is going to play their hearts out because it is a final and everyone wants to win. So I feel like if I'm Bazero, just go off the games we've been playing. Don't tinker with anything, because tinkering stuff in a final, we've seen many times in the past where it doesn't go right, and it can go very wrong if you change too much stuff in the final, because obviously we've got a working recipe. We've a solid foundation at the back, a decent midfield and a very good attack that can thrive on their day. So I just set this team up just very compact and the same as we do always. So yeah.
So I like that, to be honest. I think they should keep on playing the way that they've been playing, because obviously it's worked and you don't fix something that's not broken, basically. So before we get onto the score predictions, which is like the main bit, we're going to be talking about who you guys think the player of the tournament is. Obviously, first of all, for your own team, but after in general as well, of the whole competition. I think I'll say my bit first. I think for Nigeria, I've been writing about him a lot, and each time I watch them play, he's for me my favorite player when I watch them play. And no, it's not Victor Osimhen, but Victor Osimhen was up there for me. It's that winger, Lookman. He's been firing, to be honest. He's the one that's been getting the goals and assists for Nigeria. And if he can drop like a very good performance in the final, then for me that seals it. For Cote d'Ivoire, on the other hand, obviously the defense has been shaky, but like the midfield in front of them has allowed them to obviously keep on fighting in the competition, basically. And for me, after he scored that goal in the opener, Mr. Seko Fofana has to be my player of the tournament for Cote d'Ivoire. But obviously, in terms of the general tournament play, he has to go to the Nigerian man, Ademola Lookman, for me. I don't know what you guys are saying for your own team and then after as a whole, but Joshua, what are you saying for Cote d'Ivoire and what you're saying as a whole?
For Cote d'Ivoire, yeah, Saka Fofana has definitely like been our engine in terms of
Mm,
energy, bringing it every single game. He doesn't leave that game unless he's like tired. He's bringing it every single game, gives us everything, and you couldn't ask for more on that. But I have to give it to Simon Adriga, because just watch him and you'll see what I mean. Every time he gets the ball, he's just a danger, an absolute danger. I don't think there's anyone in the tournament that can handle him. Just creates chaos every time he has the ball. And I feel like um he's been a huge impact on why we're still in this tournament. I feel like if he
Yeah.
wasn't implemented in the squad, then we wouldn't be in this tournament at all. I think we would have left in the quarterfinals or something. But yeah, for me, he would be our player of the tournament. But for the overall, I still have to agree with you, and I have to go with Lookman because he's been playing phenomenal all tournament. From what I've seen, he's been very great. With the goals, but not even the goals, just watch him play how he's always including every attack. That's what you want in a player, not hiding, always showing up. Yeah, I have to give it to him.
Yeah, 100%. I hear your shout. With Adingra and obviously Lookman as a whole. Onto Salam and obviously for Nigeria's player of the tournament and obviously the whole as well. What you saying? I know you said early on that you had a few in mind. So what you saying?
Yeah, like I can't lie, it's tough, man. If I could give the whole team player of the tournament, then I would, innit? Because our team has surprised me. Obviously, from the second match, they up all the way up until the final. We've been very, very good as a whole. But I've come to a little short list because I could give it to any one of these players, these three players. I never thought I'd put a keeper in, but no, Barley
Yeah.
has to be up there. Has to be a mention. I've never seen a keeper change so much of how a team plays. Allowing us to defend more. He has bailed us out a few times here and there. He's been very good for us, keeping 4 clean sheets, only conceding 2 goals. And it's kind of a thing where it's a story with Nigeria where we haven't had a keeper that we could rely on since, obviously the days of Vincent and Yoma. So, it's a nice thing knowing that you have a keeper that can actually protect you and that can keep you in games when obviously you might not be playing your best. Like against South Africa, we weren't the best team, but when you have a keeper there you can rely on, you can trust him. Obviously he comes at the end of the game with 2 penalty saves. And obviously he wins the game for us, and I feel like he's been very vital for us this whole tournament. So he's up there. Obviously the main man Ademola Lookman, very 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 good. Obviously as you guys have said, there's not much more that needs to be said, man. He's just been very good, goals, assists. There's a bit of consistency now with him. Obviously, for his club, he's starting to build that, but it's not really where you want it to be. This guy has potential to be actually, one of Europe's finest. But I feel like he just needs to, carry on that consistency, just be more consistent. Goals and assists obviously matter in football these days. And, he's done that in the AFCON, so hopefully he can carry it on. And overall, I'll probably just pip him over Victor Osimhen because Osimhen, like I said, man, this guy, let's talk about a striker's performance. Obviously you're expecting goals, expecting him to claw us out. But I feel like he has done that. Obviously, without the goals, he's been our main player, dragging us through games, winning penalties, winning fouls. He's been a very, very, very good player for us. But I'm gonna have to go with Ademola Lookman, with Noah Bali being just near there. And I wouldn't be surprised if they actually give it to him. So I'll say for Nigeria, I'll go with Wabali. But for the overall AFCON, I'll go with Lookman. But yeah, that's where I stand with things.
Yeah, because I think that's fair. Obviously, the keeper has been top notch, man. He's been,
Yeah.
especially from what I've heard from Nigerian fans before about Francis Uzoho on the bench. Apparently, he was very poor before they came into this competition. So, and Obali has been that a breath of fresh air. He's been that one consistent performer that's allowed them to obviously have that platform of a stable defense and midfield attack, etc. And obviously, Lookman top player, man, top player all around. And so, yeah, we've all agreed that Lookman should be a player of the tournament, but it's also close with a few other Nigerian players. On to the main bit now, and it's the score predictions. Who do you guys think is going to win? Who do you think is going to get the goals? And who's going to be crowned AFCON champions? What are you guys saying?
So, do you want to go first?
I think
He's flexing his
I don't
Nigerian
want to
flag.
speak too much. Um, I feel like it's gonna be a tough game. Let's be honest. Ivory Coast on they're no pushover. Obviously, we have beaten them before, but final, like I said, is a different ball game. History goes out the window. I reckon we win this game 2-1. I feel like both teams will score, both teams will pose a threat, but I feel like we just pip it in normal time and we win the game.
Go on, Sawahi, what do you have to say about that?
I mean, look at the history of AFCON finals. This game is going to penalties. I guarantee you that. This game is going to penalties. I can guarantee. And I believe we will win that because we have experience in penalties. Like we've done this before, But yeah, it's going to be a very nerve-wracking match. Like I'm going to be waking up a lot of neighbors that night, definitely. But yeah, but best of luck to Nigeria. And yeah, may the best win. Cote d'Ivoire, of course. Come on, man.
Yeah, to be honest, for me
Yeah,
personally,
we'll
I
see
think.
about that. We'll see
Go
about
on.
that. Yeah, so I do agree with him. I feel like the game could easily go to penalties if you're looking at history, but I just feel like if our attackers can get it clicking throughout the game, I feel like we could get done in the 90. Maybe extra time if need be. But I wouldn't be surprised if we go penalties. So there's a possibility of everything basically. But if I was to go for a score in 90 minutes, I'm going 2-1 Nigeria for the game.
2-1 Nigeria. Sawahi, you're saying penalties. What do you think like the score is going to be
I
in the
mean,
120 minutes though? And obviously in the penalties as well. What do you think the score is going to be?
I feel like we'll get some goals. We'll definitely get some goals. It's not going to be a 0-0 game. Definitely not. I feel like Nigeria will get a goal because someone on our team will make a mistake. Definitely. But we will get a goal because we worked for it. Because that's what we always do. We always concede, right? We concede and then somehow like late in the game, we get another goal back. That's what we do. But yeah, it's definitely going to go to penalties. But I feel like we're going to draw and we go to penalties. So I say 1-1. So I'll say, yeah.
Me personally, I think it's gonna be in the 90 minutes, it's gonna be like a draw, maybe 1-1. And I think Victor Osimhen is gonna score the winner sometime in extra time. I feel like he needs a goal because he's been playing so well, and I feel like he's that man to step up on that big occasion. But who knows what's gonna happen, man? Cote d'Ivoire have a very good, strong squad. They have obviously the home support as well. Nigeria, obviously, they've been consistent throughout this whole tournament, but just to round things up, obviously, first of all, I'd like to say thank you to both Salam and Joshua. Obviously, you guys didn't have to do this. This is your free time. So obviously, again, a big shout out to you guys. Hopefully, obviously, both teams can't win, but hopefully, at least one of you is happy come the end of it. I don't know if you guys have anything else to say.
Yeah. One
Nah,
more thing.
man.
I feel like if Osimhen scores in the final, he will get player of the tournament. Just the way bookies obviously.
Yeah.
He scores in the final, he's taking, man.
I
Right.
mean, I feel like he'll be a bit biased in it, but he's been playing well in it. He probably deserves it, if I'm being honest. He probably does. So yeah.
We've dealt with the Cameroonians, we've dealt with the Angolans, we've dealt with the South Africans. Now it's time to deal with the Ivorians once more. Let's go, man.
One thing that's gonna not scare me, but that's just gonna piss me off here is Kessia and these hoofballs, man. He's just gonna try and do like one of these over the top balls, and it's just gonna be that's what I don't want to see. But yeah, man, I'm stressing. I can't lie. I'm stressing. I'm stressing. I'm stressing. I'm stressing.
Now it'll
But
be
we'll
interesting.
win. Definitely, we'll win. We'll win. We'll win.
Good luck, bro. Good luck. We'll see,
Good
man.
luck to you as well. Good luck to you.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Obviously, a good luck to both teams. I hope you guys did enjoy watching. Again, one last thank you to both Salam and Joshua. Good luck to both teams. For me personally, obviously, I've been following Nigeria throughout the whole tournament, so hopefully Nigeria can actually win it, so I can complete my journey with them as well. But anyways, I've been Magic Talk Sport. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Make sure to check out my Substack as well. And yeah, that's it really, to be honest. See you guys later. Peace.
Peace. Nigeria!